I'm Comfort Amadu. Good to have you join us on the news at 10 today this morning. And let's bring you the news highlights. After executive communications, Senate confirms Kudirat Kekere Ekun as Chief Justice of Nigeria. Federal government approves increment of corps members' monthly allowance to 77,000 naira. Federal Road Maintenance Agency scales up rehabilitation works in Bayelsa State. We'll begin from the United States of America, where First Lady Jill Biden has bid farewell to visiting First Ladies from other nations, including the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, at the 79th United Nations General Assembly. Jill Biden, who hosted the First Ladies to a lunch, described her interactions with them as impactful, and the lunch, she notes, will be the last she will be hosting as the First Lady of the United States during the hunger. She, however, says the bond they have forged over the years in their struggle to promote peace in the world and attract development to their respective countries will continue beyond next year, January, when she is expected to vacate as the First Lady of the United States.
Group forges these powerful connections we carry with us wherever we go. And as I look around today at all of you, I feel so much gratitude. In your homes and your cities and at summits, you've shown me your hearts. And I hope that you've seen mine in return. Being a first spouse is a unique experience, and I'm honored to have walked this journey with all of you. So as I begin to build my next chapter, I hope that we can stay in touch. And when there are ways that I can help lift up your work or be your partner, please don't hesitate to call me. To our partnership, may it continue to help all people flourish in the world. To our friendships, may they shine no matter the distance between us. Make us smile even when we're apart. And may their warmth remind us that on the path of peace, we never walk alone. Cheers. I love you all.
Launch events are common on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly, serving as a platform for world leaders and their delegations to hold bilateral talks, forge partnership and strengthen diplomatic ties. Nigerian First Lady Oluremi Tinubu attended the launch held at Pier 57, New York, as one of the events marking the end of her engagement and participation at the 79th session of hunger. And back in Nigeria, let's tell you that President Bola Tinubu has directed his ministers to embark on propagation of the activities of the administration, including the policies and programs aimed at transforming the country for the good of all. The presidential media team revealed this at the maiden periodic media briefing at the State House. State House correspondent Musba Danwahab reports.
The Tinubu administration is over 15 months into its mandate. The 8-point renewed hope agenda of the government are gradually being translated from paper to reality. Campaign promises such as the student loan scheme, compressed natural gas CNG initiative are equally manifesting. But the administration is of the view that not so many Nigerians know about its transformative policies and programs already in the works. President Bola Tinubu is certainly not satisfied that not so much is heard about the effort of his administration, hence a marching order to the ministers to embark on a vigorous publicity going forward.
Some people feel the government is not doing anything. And government have been doing a lot. And he believes that it is up to them to go out there and blow their trumpets. They should not even wait for people to blow it for them. They should go out and talk about what their ministries have been doing.
The presidential advisor also enumerated some imminent executive bills coming to reform some critical aspects of the economy. These include the National Identity Management Commission's Amendment Bill, which seeks the inclusion of foreigners on its system.
If the National Assembly passes that bill, it provides that everybody living in Nigeria, foreigners, all of them will now be registered and be given NIN, especially once you are doing some work here and you are earning income, you will be registered and be given NIN so that you can be taxed. Your NIN will give you the kind of tax identity, and you can also be taxed. You come under our tax structure.
The government is also aiming to lay emphasis on the national currency as against dollarization of the nation's economy. This is to be done with some adjustments to the operating laws of NIMASA and the Nigeria Port Authority.
That all their fees, charges, levies, fines, and other monies accruing to them and payable to those agencies may now be paid in Naira at the applicable exchange rate. I think those agencies only were charging in dollars, but now they can always now collect it in Naira.
At this stage, may I ask if you have enough funding to disburse to the students who had applied?
For those wondering how the government intends to fund the student loan scheme, the presidential media team says that would be addressed with an amendment to the TED Fund Act.
30% of whatever TED Fund gets from the Federation account will now be passed on to NEL Fund. So that will provide a ready-made source of funding to NEL Fund.
The government is actually quite positive and happy that a lot of its programs are achieving desired results, especially in some sectors. For instance, agriculture expanded by 3.2%. We're seeing more enhanced local production. We're seeing a lot more exports. The same things with the telecommunications industry, which has expanded by about 9.1% because of new investments in both digital infrastructure. For instance, they're laying fiber optics across the country, and also, investments in new areas in technology. In addition, FDIs continue to rise. The foreign reserves are also rising.
And on the much-awaited cabinet reshuffle by the administration, the media team says that decision remains the prerogative of the president, who had from the outset hinted on reviews of the performances of his aides. From the State House, Musbal Wahab, Nta News.
And to ensure efficiency in the judicial space, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, has hinted that analyzing or passing judgment on cases that are subject on conventional and social media from now will not be tolerated or accepted. Having been confirmed by the Senate, she informed the legislators in the course of her screening that she intends to deploy technology in the Nigerian judicial space. National Assembly correspondent Lami Anli reports.
The nomination of Honorable Justice Kudirat Motor Mori Olatukumba Kekere-Ekun is hereby confirmed as the Chief Justice of the Federation of Nigeria.
The hit of the legislative gavel signifies the endorsement of the appointment of 23rd Chief Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun. The legislators during the screening asked questions on areas of public concern in the judiciary, among other alleged misconduct in the Temple of Justice.
Integrity in our judiciary is something that is important, sine qua non for the sustenance of our democracy. Enlarge the number of justices in the Supreme Court so that cases will be dispensed quickly.
Conflicting judgments of court. My question, therefore, is what is your view about this menace?
My interpretation, not as a lawyer, as a politician, is that when you are talking of autonomy, independence, you must carry everything. It must all be inclusive.
Delay in administration of
justice in Nigeria. Second issue is the issue of inefficiency.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, asked her to justify the confidence of President Tinubu in her capability by bringing justice to Nigerians.
Agency can discipline a senior lawyer who is fond of sitting down to analyze cases that are yet to be decided upon on television, in social media and all that. I think it will serve as a deterrent.
Justice Kekereekun says she intends to instill responsibility, accountability and efficiency.
We will ensure that those who should be disciplined, those who are in the habit of doing, speaking on social media, condemning the judiciary, commenting on cases that are sub judice, will not have anywhere to hide. They will be dealt with decisively. I stand before you today with a pledge to do my best to uphold the integrity of the judiciary, to uphold the rule of law, to ensure that we defend the Constitution, and to work for the service and interest of all Nigerians.
Other features at plenary include first reading of 6 bills, among them the additional 2024 supplementary budget of the Federal Capital Territory, which also scaled second reading.
We need this infrastructure for ourselves and others who live in Abuja. So we should go ahead and pass this budget.
We all know we have youth residents in Nigeria, and I can see a provision of 10 billion for youth development fund.
I urge the FCT to beef up its reserve for possible problems that may come up at a future point in time.
Abuja has become a place that everybody needs to see, but it shouldn't be an island. So may we have all the states well connected to Abuja with good roads.
President of the Senate had, at the commencement of plenary, brought to the notice of legislators the request of President Tinubu for the confirmation of Professor Abdullahi Usman as the chairman of National Hajj Commission. Senator Ezenwa Oyewuchi's motion urging government to immortalize the late Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu was adopted. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, Nta News.
And the federal government has approved the increasement of monthly allowance for National Youth Service Corps NYC from 33,000 to 77,000 naira. A statement by the Acting Director, Press and Public Relations Unit of the NYC, Caroline Mbu, says the development is in line with the enactment of the National Minimum Wage Amendment Act 2024. This contained in a letter from the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission dated 25th September 2024 and signed by the Chairman Ekpo Nta. Appreciating the federal government for the timely gesture, Brigadier General Ahmed said the increment will not only bring the much-needed succor to the corps members, but also boost their morale and motivate them to do even more in their service to the nation. And the Director General NYC, Brigadier General Yushau Ahmed, had earlier paid an advocacy visit to the chairman where he solicited for a robust welfare package for corps members. And the upward review would take effect from July 2024. Now to Bayelsa State. In line with the renewed hope agenda of the federal government, the Federal Road Maintenance Agency has commenced intervention work along Okaki-Okolo Road in Ogbia local government area of the state. FEMA engineer in Bayelsa State, George Afo, says work will be completed before the predicted flood in the state. Details on this with Doris Akumoye.
Bayelsa State, which is geographically located below the sea level, have had its own share of flood devastation, with properties, roads and bridges not spared. One of such visible destruction is the Okaki-Okolo Road, which has been abandoned for years despite several calls by the community to fix the road. Now thanks to FEMA for this intervention work to fix the road, which was a death trap in waiting.
We were there pass this road itself, and I would pray my government can't do this thing, but as they can't remember to do this road today, may God bless them.
Okaki-Okolo Road, and we have applied to various agencies and nobody has ever responded. So today we saw FEMA and we are very much happy because we don't even apply to FEMA. FEMA saw it that it is good for the people plying this road to have a good road.
It will even attract more development to the area. Thank you, FEMA.
FEMA engineer Bayelsa State George Ofo said the work is part of federal government resolve to provide a conducive road network in the country.
We are trying to see how to prevent the total cutting off of the road before this flood will come, because as a result of this flood, if we leave this road, it's very, very obvious that this road will cut off. So we are trying to see what we can do to fix the road before the flood comes.
The intervention work, he said, is being undertaken as direct labor scheme and is going to gainfully engage youth of the community till the completion of the project. From Kolo, Ogbe local government area, Doris Akomoye, NTA News.
And it's time for a breather. More stories ahead. Stay tuned.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman Interministerial Committee on Nigeria's 64th Independence Anniversary, Senator George Akume FNIMCON, wishes to announce the programs lined up for the celebration of Nigeria's 64th Independence Anniversary with the theme, Reflecting on the Past, Inspiring the Future, as follows. World Press Conference, Thursday, 26th September 2024. Venue, National Press Center, Radio House, Garki, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Special Jum'at prayers, Friday, 27th September 2024. Venue, National Mosque, Abuja. Time 1 p.m. Interdenominational Church Service, Sunday, 29th September 2024. Venue, National Christian Center, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Presidential broadcast, Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Time 7 a.m. 64th Independence Anniversary Parade, Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Venue, Presidential Villa. Time 10 a.m. All invited guests are to be seated by 9 a.m. Announcer Mohammed Idris FNIPR, Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, and Chairman, Media and Publicity Subcommittee.
A non-governmental organization, Vanguard Against Drug Abuse, VGADA, is set to work with Nigerian Afro-pop and hip-hop singer Dauda Suleiman, popularly known as High Speed, to address the observed misconceptions and strengthen its campaign against alcohol, drug misuse and substance use disorders. Olishe Adiagbo reports that VGADA Executive Director Dr. Hope Omeza disclosed this at an engagement in Abuja.
It's no secret that some people believe drug use enhances creativity, as the idea that drugs and alcohol produce great hearts keeps resonating to many young minds.
I get fans where they cover me, pepper me, no be a person that he go cover me, shut up, never reach.
High Speed, a music artist, has for decades used his creativity to demonstrate commitment with positive messaging, empowerment, and societal impact, particularly among the youths. While Dr. Hope Omeza has continued to use his NGO, VGADA, in stemming the tide of drug abuse in Nigeria. With long-standing relationship with High Speed, Dr. Hope vouches for the integrity of the musician, even as he rises to stardom in the entertainment industry.
And most of the followers, the listeners, our fans, they so much believe in us to the point that most of them take us as their mentor. Most of them do what they see that we do on the screen. Most of them do what they hear us saying through our music. And I think it's one of the things that we should fight. And probably my person need to come out and tell my people, especially my fans, that drug abuse is not the way.
The pandemic drug abuse is majorly affecting this young population. Today in the social media and the mainstream media platforms, we have seen that most celebrities glamorize the use of drugs, as if to say that drug abuse is the way to gain idea and inspiration to do their arts and crafts. However, we are showcasing today an individual who has rose to stardom, who is in stardom, who is a star, but he did not follow the path of drug abuse, and he does not glamorize the use of substances. He's one person that has been in this space and using his art and craft to propagate the message against drug abuse. So we intend to intensify that through concerts, through programs, seminars, workshops, sensitization programs on the social media.
This commitment is to develop into a series of outreach programs to disabuse the minds of Nigerians, especially the youths, from the belief that drug and alcohol can springboard thoughts and ideas that they wouldn't normally have. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, Nta News.
Now, in a vibrant display of Nigerians' rich cultural tapestry, the Children's Cultural Fiesta brought together students from diverse backgrounds to celebrate the beauty of unity in diversity. This annual event, hosted by National Institute of Cultural Rotation, is aimed at promoting cultural awareness, cross-cultural understanding, and peaceful coexistence among young children. Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi was there.
Cultural diversity is Nigeria's greatest strength. By embracing our differences, we build bridges of understanding and tolerance. Our children are the future leaders, and it's essential they appreciate the beauty of our cultural tapestry. Through cultural education, the Nigerian Institute for Cultural Orientation believes it can empower young ones to celebrate their heritage and respect others.
We are trying to reactivate some of our cultural practices using the children as the target group. Because if you get the children, you are assured of the next generation. So we are trying to let them know that our culture is beautiful.
There's need for us to work on culture, because culture is the bedrock of development.
The event showcased the country's stunning cultural diversity, featuring traditional music and dance, delicious cuisines, intricate handmaking, and captivating activities.
I make afang soup, and afang is a traditional food. And we have family for Nkobi. That's for Igbos. It's very important for you to know your culture, your tradition, and also speak your language. It's very important.
I made ikokore, native of the Ijebu people, mainly Ogun State.
The Children's Cultural Fiesta serves as a powerful reminder that every culture has a story to tell, every tradition has a lesson to share, and every child has a voice to be heard. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi, Nta News.
And Governor Ademola Adeleke wants Osun indigents not to abandon home, but rather harness the investment potential of the state. This was as an interactive session with Osun indigents in Abuja and other northern region. Joshua Gunjide reports on this.
Elected people were welcoming their governor, coming to terms with real talks. Indigents were concerned by reports reaching them in the FCT on key state issues such as teachers' recruitment, technical education, cooperatives, and mechanized agriculture. Salient of them was the condition of the moribund indigenous steel rolling industry, ongoing infrastructure works, long-awaited international airport, and many others. Citing the dualization of the Ilanago Road project as testament, the governor said the flag-off of the third phase of the Ikirun-Kwara Road dualization is to commence soon. Thereafter, Osun-Ekiti Road.
Osun is open to investment in agriculture, mining, digital economy, as well as tourism and entertainment industry.
Our advice to the governor last year to host the Joint Planning Board meeting was taken positively.
These interactive sessions expose some of these people to the benefits they can derive if eventually they come and settle in their domain within Osun State.
Osun has now been selected as one of the 6 pilot states to drive direct foreign investment in line with the agenda of the Bola Tinubu-led administration.
Working very, very closely with His Excellency and the investment department of the state to try and define and look at the projects that are key and critical to yourselves and helping bring in investments.
I think that is what is lacking in most of these. Our leaders, they don't familiarize with their people.
They don't actually know what exactly they are looking for. I think this one, is making sense.
I go every month. I go to my community in Osun State. In my community, I can tell you a lot of projects that this man is doing.
There were also presentations of cash prizes to Abuja-based associations of Osun indigenes by the governor. In Abuja, Joshua Wujdi, Nta News.
And that's the news at 10 at this time. Many thanks for watching. I'm Comfort. I'm Madhu. Good morning.